All right, ladies and gentlemen, man, y'all already know how it go. Welcome back to the show, Open Run Podcast. You understand me? I'm your boy Cinco. We got Gino in the building wearing the same fucking shirt he wore the last 3 episodes. And we got Myth Diggy in the building. And that shirt might stay on for the rest of the playoffs because, now I'm going to just go ahead and jump into it before they, get on my ass about it. But the Boston Celtics beat the dog. Well, no, they didn't beat the dog shit out of them. But they won the series 4-0. And they brought out the brooms. They definitely swept the Brooklyn Nets.
Hold on. Keep recording.
I mean,
keep recording, y'all.
We here. I know what he doing. He grabbing the broom.
We keep recording out this motherfucker because this shit dirty as hell. I got all this shit in the corner. Man, it's fucking crazy as hell, bro. I can't believe I would leave the house is dirty. Presentation is everything, y'all. I don't want it to. Damn shit.
What's wrong with Milk, man?
There's brooms out this mother. Yeah. All right. So yeah, resume.
Back to what I was saying, bro. The Boston Celtics swept the Brooklyn Nets, and I'm gonna be the first person to say it. The role players on that team did what they were supposed to do. The superstars on that team did not. All right, Kyrie and Kevin Durant did not have a good series. Probably one of the worst series, if not the worst series we have seen from both players in the playoffs. And I'm not going to get on here and discredit Boston's defense because as y'all see the look on Gene's face, he is very much so waiting for me to do that. So I'm not going to get on here and discredit their defense. We got to give Ime Udoka, I don't really know how to say that shit, but we got to give him credit. We got to give him credit for that scheme that he put together to guard the Brooklyn Nets and specifically Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. But Steve Nash didn't make any fucking adjustments. Steve Nash. But listen though, that's the truth though. Steve Nash didn't make any adjustments, and so for that reason, I feel like either Nash has to go to the drawing boards and work on his coaching, or they just need another coach. And it just makes KD and Kyrie look bad, honestly, when they make statements that say we don't need a coach and then that happens. So, before, Gene gets on my head for 20 minutes. No, he's not talking that fucking long. Before, Gene go crazy about what's going on, I'm just going to go ahead and say that I was wrong. Good job, Gene, with the orange at the end of the sentence. But I was wrong. And yeah. Oh, and Ben Simmons is not the answer either. I'm not disclosing no information, but I'm just here to say that Ben Simmons ain't the answer either. And we gon'
You done?
So
yes, bro. Here you go. No, we gotta let Gene go because his team won. He's on the high horse.
That's why I said Gene.
Here you go.
The floor.
Big screen. Lights is on.
Listeners of Open Run Podcast, Bob and I have been on the phone over the last day and a half, and he has gotten out all the dumb stuff that he really wanted to say over the phone. So he can come to you calm and collected with no emotions because we got all that out the way. So he stole a little bit of my thunder. We talked on the phone too much. That's my fault. We need to save a lot of these conversations for the recording, man. But at the same time, I applaud Bob for admitting that I was right. He still won't admit about one thing that I'm right about, but I'll get to that in a second. But for him to just bow out, just let it go. There was a lot of things that I said on last season. There's a lot of things that I said before we started recording this season, which is that, number one, the Kyrie situation, no, I didn't want him to take the vaccine. I don't want to take the vaccine. But what I was saying is, this is not a personal shot at him, is that him playing just away games wasn't going to work. All right, like a week or two before the playoffs start, they lifted the mandate. Bob got excited about that. I'm like, it's too late. Chemistry is a real thing. And then when they lose game 3 and 4, that's all they talked about. Steve Nash and Kyrie, that is. KD didn't make any excuses, which I love. It was always on him. Those are superstars, the leaders I can get behind. But Kyrie, Steve Nash, we didn't have time, and this, that, and the other, and the mandate, and blah, blah, blah. It's like, bro, it's too late for that. You know what I'm saying? It's way too late. I also always talked about Brooklyn not being a good team, and there was a reason that they were in the play-in. Now, the thing that I wanted to get to, and I know you're still not going to agree, I told you, in order for them to win, Kyrie and KD going to have to combine for 70 points. They didn't win one game, and they never combined for 70 points. So you can say that this, that, and the other, free throws, whatever. You can throw whatever you want at me, role players, this, that, and the other. The point is that they never won, and they never scored 70 points. So I remain right, whether you like it or not. But it's not about me being right. The fact is, the Celtics moved on. I thought it would take 5 or 6 games. Got them out of there, man. Brooklyn sucks. Brooklyn sorry. I love KD. You know what I'm saying? KD can come to Boston any given time. Him and Tatum have a great relationship. They formed it on Team USA, man.
Yeah, G.
But what we're seeing is a new wave, baby. I know Tatum's only 23, but he gives Brooklyn buckets easily. And I don't have any anger.
I mean, shit. It's easy to get them niggas buckets when you got Seth Curry guarding you.
Seth Curry was guarding Tatum the majority of the time.
Majority of Game 4, hell yeah.
Was there any point anymore? Bro, Bruce Brown was on Tatum. Claxton, they threw Claxton at him.
Oh, Claxton was fucking dog shit on guarding Tatum, too.
He
was
well
damn near.
I'm
going to tell you another problem, and I realized that today having a conversation at the gym. Brooklyn had bigs that were just unplayable.
Brooklyn sucked, man. I'm gonna just tell you like that, bro.
I don't really think you know what's the crazy part is? I don't really think that team. I really don't think that team.
Where is look, viewers out there? Put out what is it called?
APB
for Twan. Twan, where are you? Y'all, you are letting me hang in this by myself. Listen, viewers, these guys are not being honest with you. Don't listen to this. Oh, they've been talking about this for a day. They have been talking about Brooklyn and Boston for the last week and a half, every single day of literally every day. Mm-hmm. I don't know how the conversation gets to it, but it is crazy. It's no way in hell I thought we would be talking about them today prematurely to the podcast. But some way, somehow, Bobby has stirred the conversation in that direction once again today. I don't know how the hell a team gets eliminated and we still talk about them.
Bro, because you got to admit, bro, the information that I said today that we're not going to disclose on the podcast. Cool, if it wasn't for that information, I wouldn't have said nothing about them. Because I didn't say shit about them in the morning time. So I wouldn't have said nothing about them if I didn't. I'm gonna
tell you. You're lying, because I'm gonna tell you how.
What I said, look at Katie's story.
When Kendrick Perkins got on there and said something about Ben Simmons, that's talking about Brooklyn. When he said Ben Simmons is the ugly girl, that you sent the voice memo.
But that
funny,
was this morning.
But
that was funny,
bro.
Did it.
But you still did it, though.
I was in a moment of laughing at that shit.
You did it. It's gonna be. That's what I said. Look, listen. The topic. Look, just to summarize it up, Brooklyn sucks. They got out of there. Steve Nash is not a good coach. He's very privileged. I respect Steve Nash as a player. He got the job. Yes, true enough, he had to deal with a lot of trades, COVID, this and that. Every coach had to deal with COVID. I don't want to use that excuse. Every team had to deal with some BS. You feel me? So it's not that. Brooklyn sucks. They got swept. KD and Kyrie, y'all are great players. Y'all got swept. Boston was the better team. Point proven. But now, to talk about it, y'all know 12 out here, right? Y'all know 12. Hey, get your kids out the way now. Y'all know 12 out here.
Oh, man. Bro, shout out to Morant. I don't know what the Grizzlies out there doing, but y'all gonna get to that cup.
And that's been another episode of the Open Run Podcast.
Nah, bro. A lot of people don't know. Ja led the league in points at the paint somehow at point guard, which means that he doesn't shoot a lot. So what we're getting from Memphis during the game is a lot of complaints about the Grizzlies not being able to shoot. But how are you a point guard leading the league in points in the paint? He led like Giannis, bro. That's crazy.
Okay, so that could, I ain't gonna lie. That could be attested to multiple things, though. Ja could lead the league in points in the paint because the niggas can't stay in front of him, so he's living in the paint because niggas can't guard him.
Or how is he finishing?
Huh? We see how he's finishing, and I'm not gonna lie. After today, he might be the most athletic point guard to ever touch the game.
But look at the game winner. Where was that at?
To that fucking left hand that niggas don't read the scouting report on because you got to know that he's going to his fucking left.
this is fourth year?
Third.
I've been saying this since his rookie year because he used to do this his rookie year to finish out games.
He used to do this at Murray State.
He going to that cup. Listen, I love the fact that he beat Minnesota that way. It's exciting, but he needs to wake up. Figure out another way to beat teams.
You got to wake up. You got to wake
Get
up.
a like something, because that ain't gonna keep working.
I definitely think with the maturity of, because I'm seeing it. This is the thing about Ja, and I'm not gonna stay on this topic because y'all know I can elaborate about this shit all day. This is the thing I can say about Ja. From year to year, he has progressed in some type of way. And since his rookie year, he will always try to attack the rim and dunk on people and everything. He didn't have a floater. This year, he showed more of his floater, which is why he won Most Improved this year, because he showed more of an in-between game. He showed more of multiple ways to score, you know what I'm saying, which kind of opened up him getting to the rim more. And I think the next, like you said, Gene, the next phase of his game is to develop a mid-range shot, is to keep working on that three-point shot, because if he gets that, he's going to be unstoppable.
Oh, my God.
Like and I'm going to just call it for what it is right now. I see three-point guards. See three-point guards.
If he can learn
what three-point guards you see.
If he can learn Chris Paul,
I see John Morant.
I got him.
Chris Paul.
Yeah,
that's who I see right now at this point. I see Steph Curry, Chris Paul, and I see John Morant. That's it.
So I want to make a point, and I don't know how y'all gonna feel about this point, but
we know who Kyrie is.
No. Not even. Well, I mean, not necessarily because of that, but I made a comment yesterday. There's a comment I made on Twitter, and this goes for point guards. This goes for the Giannis and KD debate. Everything. People who actively play the game of basketball right now would pick Kevin Durant as a better player than Giannis. People who actively play basketball right now would have Kyrie Irving as a top 2, top 3 point guard in the NBA. People who don't actively play basketball right now, majority of those people pick Giannis over Kevin Durant, and they don't have Kyrie in the top. Some people don't even have him in the top 5.
So I get what you. I get what you.
But this is why I say this though. I'm only tell you why I say this though. I'm only tell you why I say this, right? Because, and this is not a shot at anything because y'all don't play basketball no more or whatever the case may be. But you two, and sometimes DeMarcus, and a lot of people that I encounter on Twitter who don't actively play the game of basketball right now have Giannis over Kevin Durant, and they don't have Kyrie either not in the top 2 or out of their top 5. But today, hold on, wait. But today, in a gym full of ex-NBA, G League, overseas pros, everything, they have Kyrie as a top 2 point guard and Kevin Durant still over Giannis Antetokounmpo.
Okay.
Is there a reason? Can y'all attest to a reason for that?
Okay, I'm about to. So let me touch on this. Because this is what a lot of those players, because I have friends that I talk to too that they play professionally and everything. I talk to Ryan every day, by the way, and he called me today just to talk about John. Y'all, I mean, if you're a hooper, you know who Ryan Howard is. You know what I'm saying? But this is what people judge that off. They judge it off, a lot of which is scoring and the way they score and the skill set. That's what they judge it off of. They're not judging it off of the intangibles to win and everything like that. Like, this is what I'm saying. And this goes to what Charles Barkley was saying, because Charles Barkley was not taking a shot at Kevin Durant, no matter, like, Charles Barkley is an asshole.
He definitely took a shot at Kevin Durant when he said he wasn't the best player on the Warriors. That's a shot, because he was easily the best player on the Warriors.
But yeah, most definitely. But this is what he was saying.
Easily, Gene.
He said his point today. He explained it. He said, I wasn't saying that Kevin Durant is not a great player. Kevin Durant is not one of the greatest players ever. He knows that. He said that things are different when you're on the bus opposed to driving the bus. And that's what made Kevin Durant go on this rant today, where he posted Charles Barkley with all them other players, Scottie Pippen and all these other people like that. If you go back and look at it, Kevin Durant has not ever led his own team to a championship, and that's a fact.
Okay, so I have a question. When you lead your
It's a
own
fact.
team, when you lead a team to the championship, the person who leads the team to the championship, are they not normally the best player on the team?
So
What do you
let's
mean?
slow down.
No,
Let's slow down.
is that's a yes or no question?
I'm going to answer your question because that is not a yes or no question at all.
How
You
is it
can't
not?
Giannis just won a championship, and he
Was
led
he
his
not the
team
best
to the
player?
finals.
Giannis led his team to a championship. Is Giannis the best player on the Bucks?
But then Giannis go join.
Is
another
Giannis the
MVP.
best player on the Bucks?
in
Yeah,
that situation.
but then he go join another MVP.
But listen to me. Is Giannis the best player on the Bucks? Yes or no?
Trying to ask, you want a yes or no, but I can't give you that right now. I just want to let's just continue to open perspective. Let's continue to talk mindset. All right. Kevin Durant was the best player on the Warriors, not easily, because when you talk about the number one best shooter of all time, it's not easily. Because
he was
even
the
though
number one player on that team,
even though he got Finals MVP for both finals, Curry was right there. Curry could have got one of those. But anyway, going back before Kevin Durant was there, they had already won one. Yes, I know what happened on the other side. Injuries happened in the playoffs. But even the second time, they still had Bron down 3-1. So, and they had the best record in league history. So it's not like he came and drove the bus. The bus was already in motion. They were already a great team that had been to the finals the last 2-3 years. Well, 2 years at that point in a row. So him getting there, yes, he played a great role, but that was still Steph Curry's team, in my opinion. That's all I'm saying. So to just say that the best player on the team drives the bus, that's not necessarily always the case.
okay. So
Now,
my
Bob,
rebuttal to that would be, you say it's Steph Curry's team because he was already on Golden State before Kevin Durant got there, right? But if you look over the history of time, the best player on a championship team was the person who drove the bus. Every single time. We can go back and look at all the past championships when the Warriors won without KD. Steph was the best player on that team. He drove the bus. When the Cavaliers won in 2016, yeah, Kyrie hit the shot, but LeBron was the best player on that team. He drove the bus.
Okay. Let me give you an example, Bob. Let me give you an example.
He drove that bus.
Let me give you an example.
Bus?
I'm finna give you another. Bob, let me give you an example.
No, he didn't.
The first
against OKC. Against
Bob,
OKC.
let me give you. I'm gonna give y'all an example. That's not a factual statement because when San Antonio won their championship, Kawhi had not emerged as the best player. Their system was just overall that dominant. There was no clear-cut best player on the team. They had the all-time greatest power forward in NBA history on their team.
Tim Duncan was the best player on that team.
Okay, but Kawhi won Finals MVP.
That doesn't matter. Andre Iguodala won Finals MVP. Was he the best player on the Warriors?
But you just
was Andre Iguodala the best player on the Warriors when he won Finals MVP?
You just
no,
said
he
that
was
the
not.
Best player, you just said that the best player. You just contradicted yourself because you just said if we go back to statistically over time, the best player, the team that wins the championship, the best player drives the bus.
So are we going to sit here? So whoever wins Final MVP in that situation is not always the best player, as we strictly saw with Kawhi winning Finals MVP and Iguodala winning Finals MVP. Okay, Kawhi was not Kawhi when he won Finals MVP. He just won Finals MVP.
But Bobby, this is what I'm saying. So
I'm not contradicting myself because they didn't give Finals MVP to the best player, that does not make him the best player on the team. You can't tell me because Iguodala won Finals MVP, he was the best player on Golden State.
I'm not saying that. So what I'm saying is that under which guidelines do you say that Kevin Durant was clear-cut the best player on the team? Because
everybody who you ask who was the best player on that team is Kevin Durant.
Okay, let's for the viewers out there, let's get to the root of this whole issue. Bobby believes that Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are the most skilled basketball players.
No, man, let's not go there because that's not a part of the conversation that we're having right now. No, bro, the conversation that we're having right now, bro, is the nigga who drives the bus on the team is normally the best player on the team, bro. And just because a nigga wins finals MVP, the nigga who wins final MVP, that does not make him the best player on the team, because y'all cannot sit here and tell me that Andre Iguodala was the best player on the Warriors when he won finals MVP, and Kawhi Leonard was the best player on the Spurs when he won finals MVP.
So, Bob, this is what you got to work on.
How was he the best player on the? How was Kawhi the best player on the Spurs?
I said he wasn't.
Okay.
Hold on.
Tim Duncan was. Kawhi averaged 14 points in the finals, man. If he wasn't Kawhi.
But that's what I'm saying. That finals MVP shit don't mean nothing.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
But I'm saying you saying this whole drive the bus thing and everything like that. It's possible for teams to win championships based on schemes and coaching mentalities. The coach can drive the damn bus. That's what I'm telling you. For the San Antonio Spurs, the coach drove the bus. He knew how to beat the fucking Heat.
Tim Duncan was the best player on that team, man. Without Tim Duncan, do the Spurs win?
Bob, if you don't think that Popovich drove that bus for that team to get to the championship, you are wild.
Man, what I'm trying to tell you is this. Is Tim Duncan not the greatest power forward of all time?
Do you realize how old Tim Duncan was?
Is Tim Duncan the greatest power forward of all time?
Tell me how. Go pull up on your computer right now and tell me how much Tim Duncan averaged in the finals that year.
Who was the best player on that team, Myth?
They collectively did it as a team.
Who was the best player on that team, though?
Bob, give me 5 seconds and pull it up. Just pull up how much Tim Duncan averaged.
Bro, they had Ginobili, Tim Duncan. They had a lot of guys contributing.
That's what I'm saying. Boris Diaw. Come on, please just pull it up, Bob. Because I'm about to prove a point.
All right. So
I'm about to prove a point.
Please come in, please, because y'all are flooding.
Please. I just want to tell me. That's it, Jay. I'm gonna let you come in.
Let me say one thing, and then I'm gonna provide 2 examples. And one thing I do want to say, Bob, is you got to work on this, because every time somebody's explaining themselves and they say one thing you don't like, you butt in. Let people get their point across. It has
to make sense, though.
Why can't it make sense? And why can't it not make sense until they're done and then you come in?
Because Memphis was just sitting here trying to tell me.
Think they're wrong.
Because Memphis was literally sitting here just trying to tell me that the Finals MVP changed the fact of who ran the bus.
I get that, and you can disagree with that, but just let him finish his point is what I'm saying.
Okay.
Just because it's wrong to you in your head don't mean you got to just cut it off because it's not worth hearing. Everybody's got an opinion on you. That's why we have a podcast. And so my opinion is this. Number one, I truly believe that the culture of a team is driven by a player that does not necessarily have to be the best. There is a Minnesota Timberwolf right now that drives that bus. His name is Pat Bev. He is not the best player on that team. You look at Golden State, that culture is still the exact same because Steph Curry is there. The moment he leaves, that entire team changes. I think that was still his team. Kevin Durant was the best player, and he helped out tremendously. He was finals MVP. But that was Curry's team. Why? Because when KD left, they're still competitive. They're still who they are. They still have the glue. Another example, back when Paul Pierce, KG, and Ray Allen were on the Celtics, they won the championship that year with Rondo playing well. A lot of guys playing well and contributing. You can't tell me who was the best player on that team. I don't care if you say KG. KG's if he's not my first, he's my second favorite player of all time. But I'm not going to be biased and say he was just the best player on that team when Paul Pierce was the closer. Paul Pierce was knocking down big shots. Ray Allen, they all were averaging around the same thing when they won. So, but at the same time, we all can say it on 3, whose team that was. It was Paul Pierce's, right?
So that's who drove the bus.
Yes, but KG was the most electrifying, energetic, enthusiastic guy that could get everybody riled up. He spelled leadership with the way he played, but that was still Paul Pierce's team because he set the standard, he set the culture, and he was there before everything else happened. That's the same situation with Steph. So normally, I do agree with you. Normally, the best player on the team does drive the bus, but that is not the case. That's why Shaq and Kobe, that argument still exists today, with them both averaging 30 throughout the playoffs. It's like, who was driving the bus, who wasn't? And it's very hard to determine that because it's not always the case that it's just the better or more dominant guy. So when we look back at Giannis, of course he's going to be the best player on the Bucks. But if he were to play with, like, if you take the Giannis now to LeBron in Cleveland, I think that if LeBron's playing like he does now, but he's still in Cleveland, technically that's LeBron's team. But Giannis is playing better basketball than LeBron to me. That's how I feel right now.
So if you take Cleveland LeBron, who won a chip, and you take this Giannis and put Giannis on that team, who's the better player?
If I take Cleveland LeBron's the better player.
So if LeBron drives the bus, it's still LeBron driving the bus.
LeBron now, the way he plays the game now was still in Cleveland.
But that's different right now, because right now you have Giannis ahead of LeBron as a better player right now. So Giannis will drive the bus because you have him as a better basketball player.
I still, that's what I'm trying to tell you. I have the opposite. Where if Bron went back to Cleveland, that's still his culture, that's still the standard he set. If Giannis went there with Bron, Giannis is a far better. I think he's better than LeBron right now, and I don't want anybody to debate me on that. You can have your own opinion, but Giannis is playing better basketball than LeBron. There will still be LeBron's team, just like the Spurs was still technically Pop and Tim Duncan's team. Tony Parker was there a long time, Ginobili was there a long time, but it was always Tim Duncan's team. Kyle Lowry, when Toronto won, that was Kyle Lowry's team. Kawhi was just the best player.
Kawhi drove the bus. Kawhi drove the bus on that unit. It's Kyle Lowry's team because he has more time and sweat put into Toronto. But Kawhi Leonard was the best player on that team, and he's the reason that they won the championship.
I think he's the reason they won for sure. But we're not gonna act like Toronto for the last 3-4 years before that weren't in the playoffs. They just kept getting knocked out by LeBron.
And even then, it was DeMar DeRozan's team. They just wasn't. They was losing LeBron.
It was DeMar's team, but it was Kyle Lowry's team when Kawhi won.
It was his team because he was there, yeah. But that don't mean he was driving the bus because he wasn't the best player on the team. The best player on the team normally drives the bus. But what I was telling Memphis, the nigga who wins final MVP isn't always the best player on the team. In a situation like what we saw with Iguodala.
Yeah.
So that was my discrepancy, because Memphis was like, well, who won Finals MVP? But it's like Iguodala won Finals MVP, but we're not going to sit up here and act like Iguodala was the best player on the Warriors at all.
Ron Artest won Finals MVP, did he not?
I'm not sure.
Hell
no.
I don't think so. Hell no. I think Kobe probably won Finals MVP that year still.
But Ron Artest won that series.
He played big in Game 7. Kobe played terrible in Game 7. Well, I'm not gonna say terrible, but he shot the ball terrible in Game 7.
LeBron Artest, Celtics have another championship. So
I just say it's like this, bro. The only reason I say that is because that everybody goes with the notion of, because KD hasn't won since he was in Golden State, even though he made it to the finals and ended up running into Bron, his first ever NBA Finals, and because he hasn't won since he's left Golden State, it's easy for people to run up and say, "Oh, well, no." But I'm saying it's easy for people to roll up and say, "Oh, well, he joined Steph Curry, this, that, and the third." But what people are failing to realize is, yeah, he joined Steph Curry, but KD was the best player on that team. And if you take him off of that team, and I put it like this, take him off that team and leave Harrison Barnes on that team, and they do not go back-to-back with championship wins. They lose to Bron. They might go to the finals, but they lose to Bron. They don't get those rings. Steph would have one ring without KD. And you can say KD don't have any. We do know that, bro. Do you see the type of Gene, look at the level LeBron was playing on in 27 in those championships. 17 and 18. Look at what LeBron was doing, okay? KD had to average 35 and 33 points in the finals.
Bob,
he didn't average that in the regular season. He had to average 35 and 33 in the finals. If you take that away, and I'm like, oh yeah, if you replace Kevin Durant with Kawhi Leonard or somebody like that, oh yeah, they're going to win the fucking finals. But if we take him off and go back to Harrison Barnes, LeBron wins both of those championships. And this is a conversation we used to have a lot about LeBron's championship rings. And I used to say, bruh, out of the losses that LeBron has, the only losses that he really should have on his resume is the 2 to Golden State and the 2 to San Antonio when he got swept by San Antonio in 2007, and when he lost like 4-1 to San Antonio, I think 2014 or something like that. But it's like he wasn't gonna beat them.
I want to hear what Memph got to say, bro. But it's easy to say that in theory, but we can't prove that. Golden State, again, won 73 games without KD, with Harrison Barnes, all that, Iguodala, all that. They were going to go back to the finals. The West was terrible at that point. They were still going to go to the finals. Whether or not they won, hold on. We don't know. What I'm saying is, in real time, I used to tell you guys years ago, they never needed KD. Y'all knew that. I knew that. The fans knew that. He was just that extra icing on the cake. At the end of the day, is one back. He played his butt off. I give that to him. But at the end of the day, you can say what you want. But the proof is, KD has been in the league for 12 years. Kyrie's been in the league for around the same amount of time, bro. Well, a little bit less.
He's been in the league like 11 or something. KD's been like 13 or 14.
13, 11 years. And at the end of the day, you can say that's not real. They have not won without Curry and Bron. They've had plenty of time to do it. What you got, Memph?
Wait, before Memph go, I just want to make one point, and I'm gonna let Memph go. But what you just said about
I'm not saying they can't win without LeBron or Steph.
No, not that. It was something you said before that. My mind went blank when you said, "Go ahead, Memph." But it was something you said before that I was finna attest to.
They was gonna still make it to the finals.
It probably was something else. Go ahead, man.
All good.
I just feel like that we could play the what if game all day, bro. But the shit is what it is.
Yep.
Golden State won. LeBron got the losses on his resume. We can say if this, if that. It's a lot of ifs. We can say shit. Golden State, if Chris Paul when the guy hurt, whatever. Like, bro, I don't think that it's a clear cut that LeBron wins those finals. Injuries play a huge role in any championship. You feel me? Health plays a huge role in that shit. A whole bunch of things, like a whole bunch of factors play into that shit. So it's easy for us to throw out and say like, oh, if they keep Harrison Barnes, LeBron runs through Golden State and wins. It's not true, bro. You don't know what could happen. We don't know what transpired during basketball. Basketball is so spontaneous and so random. We don't know what the fuck gonna happen. Like this year, we don't know who the fuck gonna go to the finals. This shit wide open in the air. At the beginning of the season, shit, everybody thought the finals would be the Lakers versus Brooklyn. Everybody. You feel me? Before the season jumped off. So it's like not Gene, but shit. Everybody in the basketball world basically said the same shit. Lakers versus Brooklyn, based off excitement. And both of them teams both of them teams were horrible this year. We're gonna just speak it for what it is. We could throw a whole bunch of shit. Every team dealt with the same shit. Every team dealt with COVID. Every team dealt with injuries. Every team dealt with some type of bullshit in some type of fashion. Whether it was media, whether it was put out in the media, or whether it was not. Every team dealt with something. So it's like, it is what it is. That's why we love sports. That's why we love basketball for what it is. But to say this, man, I look forward to seeing how the playoffs develop. I do wish Torn was on this motherfucker. Torn, yeah. I need you, brother. I need you. These two niggas will keep talking about fucking KD and Kyrie and fucking LeBron and all this other shit all day. This shit will turn into the damn Gene and Bobby debate. For real. Torn, do not miss no more episodes. I don't care what you do. You're going on 2. And for any viewers out there, if you want to put your resume in, overall, we might be accepting resumes, man.
I remember too, real quick. I remember what you said, Gene. You said that you told us years ago that they didn't need KD, right?
They did.
But it's crazy how you can sit here and we can sit here and say that they didn't need KD, but they have come out publicly and said that they needed KD.
Hey, man.
So we can sit up here and say that they didn't need him, but obviously when they lost to Bron, they knew they needed something. But the Nets got swept at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That broom brand new. You bought that shit today. you bought that shit. You know what I'm saying? That broom a little new.
This actually a dirty ass broom, bro. Like this broom it's been around. It's been through the struggle. But I'm gonna just say this, bro. The Nets got swept. This will be the last time we talk about the Nets, man. Let this be the last episode. We gonna keep talking about the rest of the teams that's in the playoffs that deserve to be talked about. All right, the Nets will be the Nets. Best wishes to them. Ben Simmons, get some help, my brother. This has been another episode of Overrun Podcast. Swan.
You miss another episode, nigga, we replacing you, nigga.
And that's that on that. We love y'all, man. Peace.